been on and off the diet train since 2007. Guys, it's almost 2023. That's 16 years. My dieting journey has a driver's permit. And even though I have had an on again, off again, up and down, positive and negative relationship with dieting and everything that brings, including diet mentality and different diets to try and low calories and limiting beliefs and success and failure, losing and gaining, all of those things are things that I have experienced over the last 15 years. The reality is, along that journey, there are some mistakes that I have made. And today, I want to share the weight loss mistakes that I have made that I wish I hadn't with you so I can save you from making the same mistake. Ready to talk about mistakes you've made, it makes you feel a little bit vulnerable, but I'm here today because I feel like this is so important. And one thing worth noting is it's also very, very personal. This is based on my own experience, my feelings, and the knowledge I have gained from making said mistakes and from moving forward with my journey from Weight Watchers and low-calorie lifestyle into nutrition coaching, macros, and understanding what kind of fuel the body actually needs to function and to succeed. It has been a long, long journey, and I am always excited to share it with you, including today's video. Before we dive into the mistakes that I've made, I want to introduce myself to those of you that might be new here. First of all, I'm so glad you're here. Whether you are new or not, thank you for clicking on this video today. My name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine, and your healthy homemaker, sharing my journey through life with health, habits, happiness, and of course, homemaking to go after the life that I want and become my best self. Becoming my best self starts with admitting when you have made mistakes and figuring out what you need to do so you don't make those mistakes again. And with this long and tedious, positive, negative, ups and downs weight loss journey that I have been on, there have been mistakes that I've made. And there are mistakes that I still kind of make, that I'm still working on. I do not have everything figured out, but what I know for sure is the mistakes that I've made that I am listing in this video. So let's just dive right in to the mistakes that I made losing weight that I wish I hadn't. The first mistake I made is having this unrealistic expectation of what weekly weigh-ins should look like. And we have a lot of things to blame for this, right? First of all, and here's a little background for those of you who don't know, I had a lot of experience on Weight Watchers. And after a long time on Weight Watchers, years and years and years on Weight Watchers, I saw Classic Points, Points Plus, Smart Points, and Weight Watchers Freestyle before I left Weight Watchers altogether. That's a lot of Weight Watchers programs. I also was a Weight Watchers leader during the time of Points Plus time. So I am well versed in the style of Weight Watchers and what it means. And one of the things that Weight Watchers trains you kind of to believe is that every week the scale should go down. And it wasn't until literally like 3 years ago that I realized, wow, how messed up is it that I had this preconceived notion that the scale was expected to go down every week, and if it didn't, I had somehow failed. And what a brutal blow that is to your self-esteem when you have that expectation. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not just Weight Watchers. Other weight loss programs expect the same thing of you. And then they put TV shows like The Biggest Loser on TV where people have these massive losses weigh-in to weigh-in. We're talking 8, 9, 10, 15 pounds in 1 week, which can actually be like 10 to 14 days. You don't actually know the real period of time, but it's one episode of the show. And they have these massive weigh-ins. And then when somebody pulls like a 2 or 3 pound loss, they're like disappointed. They're devastated. The coach is like, oh, it's such a disappointment. And the contestant thinks that they were such a failure because they only lost 2 pounds. These expectations that society and diet culture has put on us has set us up for failure. And this is one of the mistakes that I wish I had understood earlier. I understand now weight fluctuations happen. Not only do they happen, but they are completely normal. It is normal for your weight to go up and down day to day. The weekly weigh-in is actually a flawed system because of daily fluctuations. There is absolutely the possibility that your weigh-in day, that you step on the scale and you see that you gained half a pound and then feel like a failure, it's absolutely possible that just the day before you were actually down 1.5 pounds, but you had a weight spike and a weight fluctuation, totally normal, not necessarily your fault, but the result was a self-esteem blowing weigh-in that was completely unnecessary because of a weight fluctuation. And I just think that these expectations that we and society put on ourselves for what weigh-ins should look like is majorly flawed. And all through my diet journey, I didn't realize that. I didn't know. I thought that we were supposed to shoot for the 1 to 2 pounds a week. Give me those 2 pounds a week, without realizing that that's not necessarily a sustainable, realistic, or healthy way to lose weight. Now I know better and I can do better. Another weight loss mistake that I've made in the past is wanting that quick fix and wanting it yesterday. The reality is, the faster you lose weight, the faster you're gonna gain it back. Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a slow and steady and sustainable and not starving yourself journey. And yet I somehow wanted the quick fix always. I tried it all, y'all. I tried the really low calories. I tried the pills. I tried the you name it. Well, there's one thing I didn't try, and that's keto. And that is because your girl loves carbs. So never in my life will I do keto. Even in the prime time of my desire to be the skinniest I've ever been, I've never tried keto. But that's a story for another day. Quick fix weight loss is something that I strived for, just like the big weigh-ins, what realistic weigh-ins should be. That kind of ties right into it, right? My desire to see 2 pounds a week, or oh my gosh, I did so great, I lost 1.5 pounds this week. That's not sustainable. That's not sustainable, especially at a lower BMI, right? We do have to take into consideration people's BMI, and people with morbidly obese BMIs, okay, maybe that is a little bit more sustainable for them, but rarely do we actually take our body types into consideration when we are thinking about how fast the weight should come off, right? The reality is, the leaner you are, the less weight you have to lose, the slower it's going to be, and our bodies will make sure of that. And that's just the facts of life, and that's okay. And throughout my weight loss journey, I didn't really realize, or maybe I did realize and just didn't accept that as fact. Another mistake I made on my weight loss journey was focusing solely on the low-calorie food option and not considering macro balance. If you followed my journey for a while now, for a long while now, you'll know that at my smallest, I was too skinny. Too skinny for my frame because of my disability and my lack of actual muscle that I had in my body because of my disease. I was too skinny. And what I didn't know then that I know now is that protein is a vital nutrient for not just growing muscle, but for maintaining the muscle mass that you already have. The reality is there is a stark difference between weight loss and fat loss. You can lose fat and not necessarily lose any weight because you're gaining muscle, you're maintaining muscle. But when you lose weight, you are not just losing fat. You can lose fat, you can lose water, you can lose muscle tone. And so at the time when I got down to my smallest, I was so solely focused on the low point food, the low calorie food. And often they were things like, yes, fruits and vegetables, but also things like Cheerios and 100-calorie packs. And the more I'm thinking about how I used to eat, the more I realized that it was pretty strictly carb focused. And while I did lose the weight, I lost 57 pounds, I didn't do it in a healthy manner because I wasn't taking total body nutrition into consideration at all. I was not thinking about protein. I wasn't even necessarily thinking about fiber, except for the fact that fiber-infused products meant less points in the points plus scale for me. But when you really think about the nutritional quality of your food and how now we know that higher protein matters, one of the things I preach here constantly on this channel is that protein is king. Protein is vitally important. And I did not focus on protein as I was losing weight first go around. And I can't help but wonder what my body would have looked like, what my weight loss would have looked like if I had. Swapping the low calorie option for the more nutritionally sound, macro balanced, higher protein option is not the right choice. Another weight loss mistake that I have made is trying juice cleanses. I have done not one, but 2 juice cleanses in my dieting lifetime, and I'm not proud of it because, again, it comes down to understanding the nutritional content of the food that you eat. Here's the reality. A juice cleanse causes people to lose weight. Why? Because they're basically consuming nothing but liquid for a couple of days, and it's not high calorie liquid per se. But have you ever stopped and actually looked at the nutritional label in the fresh cold pressed juice that you buy from the store? There is a problem with cold pressed juice, and it is this. Pressing the juice out of a fruit or vegetable also removes all of the fibrous goodness that comes with the produce, making it a really healthy choice. They literally toss all that fibrous pulp and skin and whatever else you want to call it to the side for the sake of the juice, which is not the healthiest way to consume your juice. So the reality is, if you look at a nutrition label on a juice cleanse, you're consuming sugar. That's all you're consuming is sugar. Maybe 1 gram of protein here and there, but it's literally, it's all carbs, it's all sugar, and it's little to no fiber. And that's basically a candy bar. It's basically a candy bar, and it's just juice. People go, oh, but it's fruit and vegetable juice, it's healthy. What is the healthier approach? And like I said, I've done this twice. Did I lose on these juice cleanses? A little bit, if I recall correctly. But I also didn't have fun on the juice cleanse because, spoiler alert, I like to eat food. And it was always cold and it was liquidy and you never really felt fulfilled. And so despite the fact that I tried these twice, I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I was so excited to do it. Part of it was for the sake of the YouTube videos. One of the first videos I have up on this channel is actually a vlog of my 3-day experience doing a juice cleanse. And don't get me wrong, I love a good juice. I love a green juice with like celery and kale and whatever, and like something that has like apple in it too to make it really sweet. Oh my gosh, I love a good green juice. The breakfast restaurant First Watch has, or at least used to have, the best green juice. And so whenever I would go to First Watch with my mother-in-law, because there was one in Florida, I would order green juice with my breakfast, and I loved it. But it was because it was kind of healthy, but I also loved the experience. That wasn't my full meal. I still ordered an egg white omelet and usually a pancake on the side. I had a full, well-rounded meal, and the juice was just a component of it because I like the juice. But doing the juice cleanse for the sake of a cleanse and weight loss is a mistake that I have made. And now that again, you know better, you do better, I will never do it again because nutritionally, it is just not the sound thing to do. The last weight loss mistake I made, and this is probably the biggest one, is not taking maintenance breaks throughout my weight loss journey. The reality is the diet industry doesn't necessarily teach us anything about maintenance mode. Weight Watchers doesn't want you to understand maintenance mode. Noom doesn't want you to understand maintenance mode. None of the companies that make money off of people losing weight want you to understand how to maintain the weight you've lost. Because that's just not a good business model, right? If people figure out how to maintain the weight that they've lost, they don't need you anymore. So weight maintenance was not necessarily something scientifically or just mentally that I actually understood. And I vividly remember even when I went into maintenance mode, when I hit my goal, I actually ended up just keeping my points the same and being a little less consistent with it. I stayed in weight loss mode because that was safer, and then I just had extra food whenever I felt like it, and those calories ended up netting out to roughly maintaining my weight for 2 years. The reality is the nutritionally sound way to do it so your metabolism doesn't adapt to these lower calories that you have to eat in order to lose weight is to take maintenance breaks. You're supposed to take breaks in between your calorie deficit. You don't just start a 100-pound weight loss journey and stay in the deep deficit for however long it takes you. That's not the right way to do it. Instead, you're supposed to stay in a deficit for a short period of time. We're talking like 16 to 20 weeks, y'all. Not a year, not 2, not 3, 16 to 20 weeks. And then you take a break. You up your calories, not to fall off the wagon level and gain all the way back, but to maintenance level where you learn to maintain however much weight you lost. So it would have been really, really great for me to go, okay, I lost 10 pounds, I lost 15 pounds. Let's figure out how to maintain that 15-pound loss for a couple of months, and then we'll go back into weight loss mode again and lose another 10 pounds. And then we'll figure out how to maintain that 25-pound loss total, and so on and so forth. And so your body doesn't adapt to the lower calories, your metabolism doesn't slow down, it keeps your body sustained, and everything just runs a lot smoother. This is by far and most definitely the biggest weight loss mistake that I have ever made. And it is a mistake that I will not be making ever again. The reality is I do have weight that I want to lose. I have probably 30 pounds that I would like to lose. And it might take me the next 2 years. And that's okay, because this time I want to do it in a way that is sustainable. I want to do it in a way that is nutritionally sound and balanced. I want to do it in a way that focuses on fat loss. And I want to do it in a way where I will be able to maintain that loss for the rest of my life without being on the roller coaster of dieting. And getting rid of these mistakes that I have made in the past, learning from my experience, is exactly the thing that is going to get me there this time around. Now I want to hear from you. What weight loss mistakes have you made in the past that you refuse to make ever again? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really does help me out. And if you want to join the Diva and the Divine community, we would love to have you. Just click that little red subscribe button and you will be a member of our team. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will talk to you all real soon.